can just say San Francisco.
Okay. Hi, Laury. Thank you for appearing here today magically from San Francisco in California to talk about your experience with the FEU.
Glad to be here.
So you contacted me when you were planning your trip to New Zealand for a special assignment, and I remember you had quite a few questions about various things that you could do and places to go. Can you walk us through what was happening for you, the concerns you had, and why you decided to go with the FEU?
Yes, so I knew you from Search and Rescue, and you helped me with my kids a couple of times when they were little, and I knew that you were back in New Zealand.
Mhm.
And I just kind of started off as more of a casual thing of where do I go? What do I do? And you're like, well, I can set that up for you. So it was really awesome. You picked us up from the airport. You took us, made sure we stayed awake until 8 o'clock that night so we could switch to the time zone. I was nervous about driving on the wrong side of the road, getting a car, getting hotels. Where do we stay? I mean, we only had a few days, so it wasn't like we could visit all of the North and South Island. It was kind of okay, these are the highlights. And honestly, I couldn't tell you the names of 90% of the places that you took us to, but it was really nice. So again, you picked us up from the airport, you made us stay awake for a little while, and then took us to our place to stay and picked us up the next morning and kind of had some plans, and they were quite fluid. Actually, it was kind of, we were driving to a beach and we said, oh, there's a really great hike over here, do you want to stop? And then we went through this hike through the magical forest where the leaves on the plants were bigger than my house, and is just phenomenal. So a little beach time, a little sightseeing, a little spa time. You booked us a spa place to go to for an afternoon.
Yeah.
It was again, you would have to be able to say where all we went, but it was very nice to have you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we could just say, well, these are kind of the things we would like to do, and you just gave us options, and then from there we could say, okay, yeah, we'd like to try this, or I don't know, tell us more about this idea. And we just got to sit back and relax, and as we were driving and wanted to pull over and have some ice cream, you were happy to pull over and get us some ice cream. And it was nice. We didn't have to think about, oh, we have to be here at 2 o'clock. That was all on you. So there's no stress for us. We could just sit and look outside the window and you count the sheeps and the marshmallow farms.
And anyone else who comes to New Zealand will explain that when you get here, what a marshmallow farm is, if you don't already know. So you guys, that's right, you flew into Auckland International Airport. So I did pick you up from there, and I suppose it must have been a load off not having to figure out a rental vehicle, driving on the wrong side of the road after, I think it would have been 11, 12, 13-hour flight, and all the luggage.
Oh, yeah. So we flew through Honolulu and we just wanted to have a little break, and so it was probably 16, 17 hours of travel time between our layover and stuff. And so yes, it was nice to get off the plane, and you just were, okay, here's where your luggage is, okay, here's the car, get in, stay awake. The goal for day one.
That's right. So, okay, so from Auckland, gosh, we did some West Auckland stuff. I remember that was in a private rental place. And gosh, I took you out to Piha, which is one of the West Coast black sand beaches. That was pretty wild.
Yes.
And on the East Coast, there were some interesting little places you were interested in seeing, like Beachlands, which is quite a ways east of Auckland, I think. And I also took you to Waitomo, which was the glowworms in the caves.
Yes, the glowworms in the caves, and that was very cool. And that was the one I was thinking of, like, oh, we have to be here at 2. I have no idea how long it's going to take. Exactly. And the fun part about New Zealand, as soon as you're outside of Auckland, there are no freeways. So it is back roads, and you're like, oh, 5 miles or whatever. We can do that in, 15 minutes. No, not necessarily.
Not quite. That's right. We shot from Waitomo Caves across to Rotorua, which is where all the geysers are, and you visited the Polynesian spa. So that was the spa place. Gosh, and quite a few cool places there, and staying in hotel in Rotorua. You also got to see the Coromandel Peninsula, which was Matarangi, Whitianga, and various other places. So you did have a nice balance between hotels and private rentals. And
yes, and you took us on a whale watching trip, and we actually got to see whales and dolphins and fun things. So that was awesome.
And that was a magic day because the sea was just like glass. It was just, yeah. You guys had a
You did warn us that it was going to be a bit choppy, and then it wasn't at all. So it was very nice. It was a little chilly, but other than that, it was good.
Yeah.
But we saw ruins. We went on a few hikes. Like I said, that hike to the beach was very nice, and then there was a hike through a forest it was so quiet and peaceful, and very magical. And
the redwood forests where Prince William and Kate Middleton went as well. Yeah, that was the redwood forest in Rotorua.
Yes, that's why I went there.
Wow. Yes. So we covered a lot, and that was your trip was really cool because I hadn't realized that people coming in from overseas might want to hire me for not only multiple days, but to stay and travel with them. So that was a really cool experience for me as well. And I'm glad it worked out really well for you guys on your trip, and you managed to cover all the things that you needed to cover and do some exciting stuff in Kiwi land as well.
It was really awesome to have you with us, because then we could fly by the seat of our pants for a little bit, and if we drove through a town, it was like, oh no, you don't want to stop at the restaurants here, you want to go in a couple blocks or whatever it is. That was just like, this is the place to eat here in this tiny little town, or no, let's wait a few more towns because there's a really great hamburger place or whatever it is. So
there was one hamburger place that wasn't so great. I think that was the one boo-boo that I made.
Well, it's all right. I had grilled cheese, so I was fine.
Exactly, because we had the vegetarian element and the gluten-free element, so there was a few juggles on dietary requirements.
Another wonderful thing you did is you didn't take me just to barbecue places, because I don't eat meat. So it was, and then avoiding gluten for other members in our party was very nice. It was probably, I don't know, you seemed very calm, but we were probably quite stressful. And no, let's stop for ice cream. No, we can't eat gluten. No, we can't eat meat. No, we don't want to hike uphill. We only want to hike flat, whatever it was of the day. Oh no, I need another spa treatment. My pants are disintegrating, whatever it is.
Which is a whole different story, which we might record sometime. Hey, it was a phenomenal time, and I'm glad it worked out for you guys as well. And it sounds like you had a great time. So for anyone else who's planning a trip to New Zealand and sort of a little bit overwhelmed with the logistics or driving on the wrong side of the road, what would you say to them?
Hire you, and then it's easy. Truly, I mean, again, it started off as a casual email, just because, again, I knew you from when you lived here, and I was just like, where should we go? What should we see? What things are good? And you said, well, I can do that for you. And phenomenal experience. Like, it was, you made it so easy, and so, again, very fluid for us. I mean, we had days where we had plans of places to go and things to do, but there were also days that were just like, well, we could do this or that, or I recommend this because XYZ. You're very knowledgeable about your country and places to visit, and it doesn't hurt that New Zealand is a fantastic place with wonderful people. So it was, I wish I could come back, but.
Well, you're welcome at any time you want to come back. So thank you. Okay. So thank you for sharing your experience working with me and traveling through New Zealand. You okay?
Thank you. Yes, thank you for taking us all over. It was wonderful. I wish that I had you here because I'm a physical therapist, and a lot of my patients could really use your services. So we had an amazing experience with There For You, and you, Leanne, are an amazing tour guide. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And when we come back, we will find you again.
That sounds phenomenal. I will look forward to that, or my next trip to California myself. And for anyone and anyone who's watching, if you're interested in finding out if I can be there for you too, have a look at the website thereforyou.co.nz or thereforyou.co.nz for Americans, and reach out. Let's have a conversation. And thanks again, Laury.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Have a great day.